I'd like to give everyone the protection they deserve.
Can I ask you that question? What is the benefit that the National Assembly is benefiting from?
One of the characteristics of government is its authority, ability, and right to make, administer, and enforce binding rules, laws, and policies on the citizens in a legitimate manner. The primary role of the legislature is holding governments accountable in their decisions. They scrutinize government actions. Through their oversight function, they ensure that funds appropriated for government institutions are utilized for the purpose they were allocated, ensuring that citizens get value for their money.
The whole idea of a democracy, especially the type of democracy that we're practicing, which has been borrowed from America, is to have one arm of government check on the other. You know, we have three arms of government. You have the executive, you have the judiciary, and you have, the legislature. So each is to check on the other side so that power is not all given to one entity, not the executive, not the judiciary, not the legislature. So we, as a legislature, go out there and oversight the other two arms of government. We oversight the judiciary and we oversight the executive. The most important law that we make, in my opinion, every year is the appropriation law, because it is the appropriation law that drives development in the country in a given year. And so you want to go out there, amongst other things, to see how that money that was appropriated for is used.
So what it means in effect is you allocate money to the MDAs, ministry, departments, agencies, and over time you also ask them, how have they spent the money? So that is what the oversight function is all about. However, in going about it, we believed at that time that quite a number of people are not comfortable with it because they don't know that it is a requirement of the Constitution. It's a requirement of the law. Any legislative arm is expected to do just that.
These oversight duties have birthed various committees to investigate and question agencies, ministers, and other public officers when there is reason to suspect any illegal and corrupt practice. Some are the Pension Scam Probe, the Nigerian Immigration Recruitment Probe, the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund Probe, and most recently, the probe into the affairs of the Niger Delta Development Commission. The Niger Delta region of Nigeria is of critical importance to the country because of the huge revenue from oil, which comes largely from the region. The NDDC Act was signed into law 20 years ago by President Olusegun Obasanjo to find a lasting solution to the socio-economic challenges of the Niger Delta. It has not fulfilled the mandate it was set up to achieve. For many months now, the NDDC has been in the eye of the storm over allegations of corruption, counter-allegations, and a leadership tussle. Conceived as a developmental agency to fast-track the growth and welfare of people in the Niger Delta region, the Niger Delta Development Commission seems to have morphed into a spoils-sharing arrangement setup. That is if revelations from investigations by both the Senate and House of Representatives are anything to go by. The Interim Management Committee, set up to carry out a forensic audit, does not seem to have helped in repositioning the NDDC.
We're talking about a rot of about 19 years that needs a proper forensic auditing, and not lawmakers for the sake of politics trying to probe this particular commission that has been there just for about 4 months. Yes, I'm not saying the activities are correct, but if the probe is intended to distract the whole corruption that has existed in the NDDC, it's done in bad faith.
One of the controversies is about the actual amount disbursed by the commission in the period covered by the tenure of the interim management committee. As allegations dominate the public space, it is clear that more than cosmetic reforms are required to change the situation.
We must do justice to the history of our heroes' past. So many of our leaders sacrificed their past in order to secure our today. History is on us for us to put in all our best today in order to secure the future of generations yet unborn.
You said you went to FEC and you got approval. That approval, was it for the forensic auditing or for the lead consultant?
The probe by the House of Representatives of the Niger Delta Development Commission has unraveled a lot about the running of the agency, but not without some sort of drama, plot twists, and talking points.
In 2012.
Okay, hold on.
Notable figures in this movie of some sort include former Managing Director of the NDDC, Joy Nuniye, and Minister of the Niger Delta, Godswill Akpabio, who have made accusations against each other, raising issues like corruption, insubordination, and sexual harassment.
Nobody makes any payment in NDDC without Godswill Akpabio's approval. When we first came to NDDC, on the day of going for the inauguration, he told me in the car that, Madam MD, if you don't do what I say, the same pen with which I used to sign your letter, it will be the same pen that I will use to remove you. He's lucky that God did not plan for me to be there today. The person that authorized it.
Don't say it.
I will say it.
Don't say it again.
Since I became the minister of Niger Delta, supervising the NDDC, I have only authorized one contract. And that one contract is the COVID contract.
This is an investigative hearing.
On this occasion, the NDDC committee declined to make presentation before the lawmakers, insisting the committee chairman, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, must step down.
The NDDC has over the time accused the Honorable Olubunmi Tunji Ojo of different crimes against the NDDC and its people, and he has responded in press. He's an interested party, and we do not believe that the NDDC can have justice because he cannot sit in his own case.
But the lawmakers were not ready to yield to such demands.
The House have decided that this is a committee affair and not a personalized affair. And since it is not about the chairman of the committee, the motion that called for this particular hearing has not been rescinded in the House. I think it is out of order for an invited guest to instruct us on how to regulate the activities of the House.
Eventually, the NDDC team walks out.
As a committee, we have done our best to give them the right of fair hearing. And the acting managing director of NDDC came in and decided to walk out on this committee as his permission was not granted. Let it be on record that he walked out on this committee.
The lawmakers invoked the law to compel the NDDC team to respond to allegations of financial impropriety relating to the 81.5 billion naira spent in 5 months. Former acting managing director of the NDDC, Joy Nunye, was initially slated to appear in person before the House Committee over allegations of financial wrongdoings in the commission. But she could not make it to Abuja because her Port Harcourt home was surrounded by the police in the early hours of the day. Reports say that the Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike, rescued her and spirited to Government House, where she took refuge.
They said they came to take me away. I said, for what? Do they have a warrant of arrest? They said no warrant of arrest. So I left it about 6 o'clock. They broke the gate. And later, Senator Magnus Abe now called me that he had reached the Commissioner of Police, who said he didn't know anything about it. So the CP called me. I sent him my address. He came. They told me the CP was downstairs. The CP wasn't down, but I think he's the Deputy Commissioner of Police. So I opened the door. They wanted to grab me. I now pushed back the door and locked it and went upstairs, got through to my governor. They tried to break the back door. It's a security door, so they kept hitting it for over 1 hour and they couldn't get access. So my governor came, asked them for the warrant of arrest, and why couldn't they invite me to the police, that I would have come instead of going to take a woman like a criminal.
Barely 24 hours after the Port Harcourt drama, Joy Nunye gave her testimony to the committee via Zoom.
I remained silent after nearly 7 months of my removal. I think about 5-6 months of me removed as MD, because contrary to what you said, it's because I'm annoyed that they removed me. Am I annoyed? I'm not just annoyed. I am livid, especially when I heard the reason for my removal. And I'm so happy. I want to thank Senator Akpabio for giving me a good testimonial that I am not corrupt. There's nobody can say, no contractor can sit anywhere and say they gave me 10 naira. I want to say this also under oath. The contractors, most of them, 60 personally known to me, personally. And I can say before the world that I am the most unpopular MD ever that came to NDDC. When I was removed, the minister, Senator Akpabio, personally sent out text message and video recordings of the youth, say, make she go, she no agree give us money. That was a testimonial that the money of the people of the Niger Delta is blood money. I refuse to touch it.
The former acting managing director insists that the forensic audit approved by President Muhammadu Buhari has yet to kick off, describing what was going on in the commission as a scam.
After the first 100 million naira, on the 23rd of April, he got 536 million naira, which was titled Campaign to Save Lives in the Niger Delta. Again, the larger percentage of this money went into private accounts and BDC operators.
With a series of allegations leveled against him, the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs was then summoned by the committee.
Honorable Ministers.
It's the day Nigerians had been waiting for. The sitting started later than scheduled, and the chairman of the House Committee surprisingly recused himself from the probe.
For Nigerians to know, I'm not on a mission of vengeance. I wish to humbly appeal to my colleagues to recuse me from presiding over this particular meeting.
The committee, which was in its 4th day of hearing, appointed Deputy Chairman Thomas Ayoyimika to take over from the chairman.
Committee.
That the evidence I shall give before this...
Next came the acting managing director of the NDDC, who for more than 1 hour had to defend allegations of extra budgetary spending.
To the 31st of May 2020, that the sum of 81.5 billion naira was spent by the two IMCs.
Now, you told us under oath right here that you are still preparing to pay money to students who are on scholarship. Now, we are aware that you don't have a 2020 budget yet. What you are operating is the 2019 budget, which, as you know and as we know, ended May 31st, 2020. We are now in July. So you are not expected to be spending money from budget 2019. It has expired. From where are you going to spend this money you said here on oath that you are preparing to pay students who are on scholarship? Are you aware that every expenditure you make from 31st May till date are not Excuse me, MD is not feeling fine.
He lost his composure and slumped momentarily. After he appeared to have regained his composure, he slumped again. He was rushed out of the sitting for medical help. The panel was compelled to go on a break. On resumption, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, made a surprise appearance, asking for calm and order to allow proper hearing go on.
The leader and I thought we'll come and put everything in proper perspective so that the committee can carry on. Like I said, it's not an adversarial, nor is it even inquisitorial. It's just a fact-finding mission which will involve questions and answers.
Afterwards, Minister of the Niger Delta, Godswill Akpabio, took the stage and was allowed 30 minutes to speak. He denied many of the issues earlier raised.
There is an ongoing forensic audit. Number two, the minister did not hijack the forensic audit. It is ongoing and it is going in line with due process.
Then came a heated exchange
In the budget of 2000,
and a damning allegation.
who are even the greatest beneficiaries? It's two people now.
Okay.
Because if you look at your chairman gave...
Okay, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, that's okay. That's okay.
Commencement
No,
of the
can I
payment.
ask you that question? What is the benefit that the National Assembly is benefiting from?
It's
what
okay,
you have
it's
just
okay.
Are you asking me the benefit of National Assembly?
Yes, you just said.
I just told you that we have record to show that most of the contracts in NDDC are given out to members of National Assembly, but you don't know about it.
It's
But
okay.
the two chairmen
It's
know.
okay.
It's okay. About it.
It's okay.
The two chairmen can explain to you. That is why I was a member. I was a member of the NDDC committee.
The members of the panel won't allow that to slide.
NDDC and lot of wait, you were a member of the NDDC in the 8th Assembly, and are you telling me that lots of jobs were awarded to you as a member?
No, this is a problem. That's why I said you
Then
must
you
change.
have the right to accuse people. Then why can't you bring up
Can
the
you please
people
listen
that...
to me? One of the chairmen
If
also...
you were not awarded a contract, then why are you coming here that you are aware that you were a member of the NDDC and lots of contracts were awarded to you? You said I'm not aware.
Sorry, sir. May I correct you there, sir? Don't be angry. Don't mention Honorable Tunji Ojo because he was not even a member of the House of Representatives.
Why did you say that?
So
Why
I'm
did you
saying
say that?
I'm saying that a contract.
Why did you say that?
I said that's why I said maybe you misunderstood me. And
No,
I mean,
no.
If I was misunderstood, if I was misunderstood, I withdraw the statement. So please, if I was misunderstood, I was giving an example of contract splitting.
The panel had gotten enough and allowed the minister to leave. The petitioner, Kolawole Johnson, was invited for further clarification.
From what we submitted deliberately,
because we wanted to reconfirm and be very sure. We discovered that between June 1st, by the way, the budget of the NDDC expired May 31st. So between June 1st and July 17th, I'm here to tell this committee that the documents available to all show that NDDC has spent a total of 19.6 billion naira.
The panel adjourned the sitting indefinitely.
With respect to the underdevelopment in the Niger Delta region, the lawmakers themselves are arguably part of the offenders, so they can't be seen to be holding offenders accountable, because you can see even recently the Minister of Niger Delta is alleging most of the contracts that have been awarded from that commission that have been done shabbily or not done at all were given to lawmakers. And this may not be far from the truth, because when you look at the lifestyle of the lawmakers who are superintending or oversighting that commission, you see that they are living larger than what we expect of their wages. So from where did they make this money? So these allegations are to the extent that, yes, it is true that these allegations may not have been proven, but there is a substance of truth in it.
The fact that people try to throw brickbats back at the National Assembly doesn't mean we should be intimidated into staying away from our constitutional role. Okay? So we are only to expose the wrongdoings within the other arms of government.
The duty of the National Assembly to make sure that they don't in any way compromise their position. You don't compromise their position by asking an agency that you supervise to give you anything. If you don't do that, nobody will come to you to tell the whole world that you've come to ask for money or you're begging for this, which is what they are trying to say. Though most of them, as it turned out, are really not true, because in the NDDC situation, for instance, they said National Assembly took 60% of their total budget. That is absolutely not possible. Yes, I can say that categorically, because if you look at what the National Assembly, if you look at what NDDC is giving, is spending yearly, and if you go back 60% of that, and after interrogation, further interrogation, the minister said, yes, it's just the chairman for the House and the chairman for the Senate that collected that. That is not possible. The two of them cannot, whether individually or collectively, collected 60% of their total budget. So what they are trying to do most times is to push the accusation towards the National Assembly so that everything will look scattered.
Privileges were abused because accusations were hurled on me. I was judged. My wife was judged.
Will you say you have been fair to other sectors of this country where employments of people by NSITF is mainly from Anambra? And when I took a cursory look, our minister, at the nominal roll, I saw about 5 ngigis. I don't know whether it is a family name or it's a community name. Mr. Minister, please respond.
I'm responding, my friend. If you yap me, I yap you 10 times.
I won.
I'm a Lagos boy. I'm a Lagos boy. You are just a small boy in Lagos. Look at this boy. Mushin boy is talking to a VI boy. I live in Victoria Island. Look at Mushi boy. From Kogio